AJ, shut up. Shut up. My name is Last, and you're watching Caster Call.
What's going on, guys? I'm Dom, and I'm back here with yet another caster here at Collision 2023 for another edition of Caster Call. And this time around, I got the man, the myth, the legend, Last of Team Liquid. And we're gonna ask how the fuck you swung that one first and foremost, because a lot of people have no idea how that happened, and you just kind of showed up one day like a stork dropped at our doorstep, like just liquid, actual liquid. Like I got all the stuff. They actually had me on payroll, and yeah, I'm a part of your scene now, guys. Congratulations. So how did that happen first and foremost? Before we get into the commentary stuff.
So I've actually been like around Smash since like very early Smash 4, but I was very much like a gym. I was just a spectator. I didn't go to events outside of my region. I didn't like show up at majors. I just watched in Twitch chat, you know. When quarantine rolled around, that was like right when I turned 18. So I was like actually about to be able to go and travel outside, and then like I suddenly, because nobody could, because there was nothing going on. So I was just like, what can I do now that like everything's online? So I started TOing events, and I met up with like Cact, Grayola, Sean, a couple other people, and started TOing a whole bunch of like online, like big online tournaments. And then when the box rolled around, when HBox and Le'Veon Bell teamed up and did that huge like 8,000 person man bracket, I was just like one of the like assistants on that tournament. It was just like I was just running pools and shit. But after the tournament ended, the people from Team Liquid, they approached me and they were like, "Hey, we're trying to turn this into like a weekly series. Maybe we're gonna call it like the Juice Box, and like all that kind of thing. And we need somebody to be like on the ground running it. Would you be interested in taking that job?" So at first it was just like I'm just running their tournament for them. And after like 2 or so months of running Juicebox for them, I got approached by the then head of the community department. His name was Ken Serra. He's retired now, but Ken approached me and he was like, "Hey, you have time to sit down on a call with me real quick?" And I actually didn't know what that means. So I thought that I was about to be...
You either getting paid or you getting fired. No in between.
I thought they were about to be like, "Yeah, we're gonna go with somebody else. We don't really like what you're doing." So that's the thoughts that were going through my head, because that had never happened to me before or anything like that. So we sit down and he's like, "Hey, we think you're doing a great job running this. Would you like to run more stuff with us?" So I got offered a position in the community department as like an events organizer. So I ended up doing a bunch of stuff with obviously Smash, but I organized a couple of events for like Rocket League, for Fortnite, for like all the other stuff that Liquid was in. But over time, I kind of found out that like I'm pretty decent at coaching in Smash Bros. And when Liquid picked up Riddles, it was actually HBox was like hard pushing like, "Hey, we need a coach." And we already have somebody like on our payroll who like knows his stuff and who like does that kind of thing. So I really think that we should like basically pick me up from the community department and move me over to so that's literally what happened. They moved my contract terms. They like all that stuff got changed around, and I went from community TO into head coach of Smash, and that's just where I am now.
That's so fire. Holy shit. That's so gas. Also, two things. One, that's fire. And two, are you a Smash player, sports fan like I am?
I would say so, yeah.
You watch football?
Baseball is my
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Wait, hold on. I might have to take that back. What's your favorite team? Yo.
You're not going to like this.
I might.
Pirates?
I'm a Padres fan, so we don't worry about each other. It's okay.
We're good.
But I need you to understand that when I was sitting at 20, because the Le'Veon Bell thing was like 20... 20?
Early 2020, yeah.
Yeah, so when I was sitting in the middle of Oklahoma finishing up my military training, I was watching Le'Veon Bell play Mega Man on Wi-Fi with no LAN adapter. And like my brain didn't fucking compute that HBox and Le'Veon Bell knew each other existed, let alone were working together on something.
Bro, that's the craziest thing. There's a couple like pro like football players, pro baseball players who are like just like very quietly in Smash. I don't know if you saw like when the Super Bowl was going on, like Joe Burrow is a Ness main.
Yo, Joe Shiesty, no more. You fucking kidding me? Yo, some fucking Ness. Oh my god. I wish you didn't tell me that. I really do.
He's like, look on his Twitter account. He's got like Smash Bros in his like bio and shit like that, or like it's not in his bio, but like he's tweeted about Smash Bros a couple times.
I'm finding every instance of Joe Burrow's Smash Brothers and putting it on screen at the same time. Oh my god, this is so gas. I didn't even know that. Like I knew athletes got into Smash, but celebrities in general, because we had Asa Butterfield on the Panda payroll at one point.
He's on Liquid now.
Whoa, go fucking figure. Yeah, Dylan Sprouse. I remember that shit.
Dylan Sprouse on PM.com.
Yeah, beating the dog shit out of his brother and then commentating with Prague at Zenith.
Yeah.
I remember that distinctly. Like, watching Sweet Life of Zach and Cody and Sweet Life on Deck religiously and then getting into Smash, and within 2 months seeing Dylan Sprouse was, oh, wow.
He's following you.
Wow, this scene is so weird. There's so many people in it, but that just speaks to the gravity of the game. Yeah. And I wish I had a good way to segue the gravity of the game into us talking about the game, but that's what we're here to talk about, man.
That's a pretty good segue.
Yeah, I try my best, but you, like you said, you didn't really, you didn't get picked up by Liquid to do any of the commentary shit, obviously. But this is where you ended up. How do you think that being on a professional team for as long as you were, and then getting into commentary kind of as like an afterthought or like a thing you just did down the road, do you think that's helped with your professionalism, how you handle things? Have the people you worked with in the past running events or anything of that nature, have they helped you kind of like develop your style of any sort of way? Like, can you speak on that?
I think one of the big things that like came of starting as a TO. Oh, cool. I didn't know if you wanted me to grab it or not. One of the things that I think like definitely helped converting from a TO to like a caster or like a personality was that I already knew a lot of people and already had a lot of connections. So like Cactin Grayola, for example, like Grayola is literally one of the directors of the event we're at right now. But I had known Grayola for like a year plus before he ever directed or like worked at his first major. So it's like I'm already friends with these people, and obviously like being friends with somebody is not going to get you, a top 8 block at a major or like even any block at a major, but it definitely helps to like have them know your name. Like you're not going to get just like tossed on the mic if you're dog shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you have the skills and then you also have the connections, those connections help you get those skills out there like a lot faster. Exactly. So like those connections from TOing and like the people who mattered already knowing who I was, then going into casting and like not being like amazing, but like I've definitely gotten a lot better since when I first started. But even when I first started, like I wouldn't say I was terrible or anything like that, but like starting out and being like already decent and then having people already know my name, they're like, well, we can give them a top 128 block at like Infinity Con or whatever, and those blocks from those connections helped get me my name out more and more, and then like just kept improving from there.
I'm glad you mentioned Infinity Con because that's actually when I found out who you were, and I thought it was
my first offline. So Infinity Con 2021 was my first offline bracket, bigger than like 60 people. I'd only ever been to like tiny regionals before then as like my biggest events, and then Infinity Con.
That's not Alabama, baby. They don't got shit out there. Absolutely nothing. But now I talked to Cake when we were doing the regional spotlight for PG Stats before all that shit went. Y'all know how it went. But I was talking to him, and I've like ever since we had that conversation about like what's Alabama like, I'm like, now I want to go to Code Crimson. Like I'm really pushing to go to one. I don't think I'll be able to go to this one, but like Alabama is definitely on the list.
Pull up.
I absolutely will when I can, like 100%.
Thankfully, well, not thankfully, but like now I live in Atlanta, which is obviously a much bigger region for Smash than like Huntsville, Alabama, where I used to live was. So like now I get to go to like 404 every week and vibe out with like the 70 person local, which is like literally bigger than the largest tournament that like I had ever seen before then. And now it's just like my local. I'm just like, oh yeah, it's just another weekly.
Yeah, man. And having a scene that you can kind of just having that as your base of operations, so to speak, it helps a lot with your profile. It really does. Yeah. It's easier to build your profile up as a caster when you can land these blocks every now and again at these big tournaments like a Collision or like a Genesis, a Frostbite, something of that nature, right? And then you can go home, and then you have a stream that has eyes, and then if you can be the guy on that stream, stock is just going through the roof. Yeah. So hopefully that can happen for you now that you're in a better spot than Alabama. Even though Alabama seems great, like that seems amazing, but it's obviously the disparity there.
Numbers, yeah. It doesn't have like the same amount of eyes with the same amount of numbers in it.
Man, Liquid last, man. Oh, for some reason, I don't know why you Liquid people keep finding me. I started out in the scene in 2014. I was a villager main in Smash 4 at the time. I was running tournaments out of my community college game room. And then I got into casting shortly thereafter because we got a stream set up and there was no one to talk about the game. So I was like, I'll just sit here and talk for 4 hours. And helping us run tournaments was someone working at Team Liquid. So
there's a lot of us.
Yeah, I'm starting to learn.
There's quite a large number of people just in the company.
Yeah, it's a premier esports team, man, and to be a part of that legion, you have to be pretty damn good at what you do. So speaks a lot that you've been a part of that team for a while. Jesse, if for some reason you're watching this, yeah, thank you for all the help back in the day. I found another one of your clones. You missed one. Come get it. So you said when Riddles got picked up to Team Liquid, HBox was really pushing for you to be pushing that coach role, which makes sense because he has Captain Crunch. Huge for his growth as a Melee player, ascending to that potential GOAT level of Melee now since 2016, 2017, because he has Crunch. So now that you are a coach, and I've seen you coach up close in person, when we were at MomoCon, and it was the Buzz versus Riddles for 7th, I believe.
Those two didn't fight at MomoCon.
It was you versus someone that was also Liquid. I can't remember. I swear it was a Liquid team kill at MomoCon.
I think we had a team kill at MomoCon.
Did you really?
A lot of team kills, though.
Was that really? Who was he playing?
DeBuzz lost. So DeBuzz got 3rd at MomoCon, either 3rd or 4th. I think he got double eliminated by Light, if I'm not mistaken. And Riddles might have lost to DeBuzz in like winners quarters. I don't actually remember that bracket super well. I remember Riddles getting like camped out by Didi for 7th place.
Yeah, no,
I remember.
No disrespect to Riddles, but that was funny.
I remember that set. That was also just funny as hell because that was like, I think Didi's like a little child. Like everybody knows that. And that was like his first time on like a big stage in front of a lot of people. And so he was eating that up, like that attention. So that was just really funny. But that's like pretty much like the one set that's like crystal clear in my memory from that tournament was Riddles getting camped by Didi.
I remember the pop off. That's what sticks out to me. No, that kid can game. Oh my god. But yeah, can one of you verify that there was no Liquid team kill at MomoCon 2022? Because I swear you had to coach 2 players.
I'm pretty sure it was Riddles losing to the Buzz at one point.
It might have been quarters.
Pretty sure.
Okay, so maybe I just had the round wrong because I definitely remember a Liquid team kill. But regardless, while we're all sitting here checking to make sure I'm not stupid, how do you feel like you transitioning from your previous position at Liquid to being a coach at Liquid has helped you be a caster? Because we have casters in this team that have coached. I've coached before. I coached, well, not coached. I was an analyst for a little bit. Like I picked the numbers apart for Zero for a little bit. We have Charles, who was obviously Void's coach for a very long time, and then he got into casting. Pierce was a coach, and then he was a caster, but that kind of happened in the reverse. But you going from coach to caster kind of simultaneously, how do you feel like that has influenced the way you do commentary? And I guess on the flip side, how do you think commentary has affected how you coach your Liquid teammates?
So I don't really think commentary affects my coaching, but I think coaching really affects my commentary. That makes a lot of sense. Because I've always been like, just as a person, I've always been a lot more on the deep dive analytical side than I have about like, the fast talking play-by-play. So I feel like when I first started casting, because I think I started casting a little bit before I started coaching seriously. It was like not too much of a time difference though. I was already going for like more of that color caster role where I'm breaking down interactions. I'm talking about like thought processes behind certain things. But I feel like becoming a coach alongside that definitely helped with like credibility a lot. Because as somebody, like, I've never been a top player or anything like that. I was always very, like, in terms of actually playing the game, I've always just been very casual. I enjoy watching the game and, like, studying the game a lot more than I like actually playing it, which is very weird, I know, don't get me wrong. But being, like, that person who's, like, a student of the game but doesn't actually really, like, play the game, I feel like if I didn't have that coach role alongside the casting role, a lot more people would, like, probably question what I'm talking about, because they'd be like, well, this guy's never been in that place. He doesn't. Why should we trust what he's saying? Because he's never been a top player. He doesn't know what he's talking about. So I feel like being a coach alongside that, like, I can say, like, I've coached MKLeo to multiple major wins. Being able to say that alongside my commentary means that I can be like, well, I have this credit to my name, so, like, I know what I'm talking about, right? And I feel like it helps that role of color commentary be taken a lot more seriously because I have that aspect of credibility.
That's something very important because you know how it is now. Everyone wants to be right. Yeah. So being able to have that weight behind what you say, it helps, like, tremendously. Like, if you can have some opinion on something and then someone can be like, oh, yeah, this is his opinion and he has X, Y, and Z to his name, so I should probably take a little more stock of what he's saying than what this random other person in the room will say on the same thing, right? But on the flip side, I do remember you at MomoCon spitting that shit. Pyro is not, there's no top 5 potential there, bro, I promise you. I remember you saying that vividly. You was like, I low-key think Pyro could be top 5, and I was like, bro, what?
Bro, Pyro is broken.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Pyro is broken as shit.
No, I'm not saying she's not. But what I am saying is top 5 is not in the cards. You got to play both of those. Like I don't even think Mithra by herself can be top 5 just because this game is so bloated. But, like, you got to play both.
It definitely is, like, a very, very bloated game. But I don't know, man. Pyro's so broken. Like, Mithra's better at times. But, like, they're both broken as shit. Yeah. And then together, they're even more broken. It's like it's a fucked up character. We got to be honest with ourselves here.
It's very messed up, man.
But yeah, no, what can I say?
Different, I hope. I needed something.
Like, I did look it up, by the way, and Riddles and DeBuzz did not play at MomoCon.
So there was no liquid.
There was no team kill. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm a liar. Yeah, you can't listen to what I say either. My bad.
They've team killed enough times. It's happened plenty of times, but it wasn't at MomoCon.
Yeah, but regardless, I do remember you coaching Riddles at that event. So, like, that part at least checks out. I had the opponent wrong, but, like, I've seen this man work. I've seen him give advice. And
$20 from Light. So this was at MomoCon last year. Cola and Riddles were about to fight. And Light was coaching Cola. I was coaching Riddles. Both of us finished talking to, like, our respective person. And Light comes over to me. He's like, yo, side bet 20 yeah, he was like $20 on which one of us is the better coach. And then Riddles kind of farmed Cola that set. You can go back and watch it. It was a 3-0 and it wasn't particularly close.
Just saying, I can confirm this story because I watched the whole transaction happen.
Yeah, AJ was there.
Oh my god.
I did watch it happen. Light did give up that $20.
So yeah,
got him, Paris.
Riddles hit, like, the 4th Electric Wind Godfist on Cola and just, like, touch of death him. I looked over at Light. I was like,
yeah, yeah, you got to hand over the money at that point. You coached in Nicosia and it got worse, brother. All right, so in your time as a co-caster, I've asked this of all my fellow co-casters that have sat down, your personal favorite block that you've had so far. And I'm looking for a block where you felt like in your core, doesn't matter what feedback you got from anyone else in the room or from Twitch chat or your Twitter DMs, like, have you had, well, you definitely had one, but what set have you had where you got up out of the chair, right, and you immediately just went, yeah, I did good work today. Like this was, if I was to try to get myself hired at Evo, this is the first set I would show somebody.
So this is going to be kind of a weird one, but it was actually a pools block at, I think, Glitch 8.5. And it was when I got to cast with Charlie the King before he, like, retired from a lot of stuff.
A second, I didn't even know that happened.
So that was pretty close to, like, when I was first starting out, and I was, like, super trying to push myself as like this analyst, this like the like knows a lot about the game type of role. But when I sat down with Charlie, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just let him be like the knowledge guy, be like the analysis guy, and I'm gonna just like I'm gonna give him tosses, I'm gonna set him up, I'm gonna do play by play, and that's like to this day the only time I've ever really gone like as a play by play caster. But like it felt really good because it was very easy to set up Charlie with questions like, oh, in this situation, what do you think he could have done better? Or what do you think he was thinking about going for this? Like those kinds of things to that kind of person and that kind of knowledge that Charlie has. And so like it's like I said, the one time that I've ever actually like served as a play-by-play caster instead of like either a color or like a hybrid role. But I got up from the chair there and I was like, that was kind of fun. I might have to do that again. I never did it again.
I'm telling you, like being the play-by-play guy, I've someone like me, I sit down and the first thing that I do, like before the first set even starts, is I'm trying to figure out like how do I fit alongside this person? Because my job is to be the perfect co-caster. That's what I want to do. And when I get to play that play-by-play, it is significantly more fun than being the numbers guy. Like it's way more fun that way. So shout out to Charlie for letting you get that opportunity. I don't know if you've been branching out a whole lot or put a whole lot of thought into it, but Pokemon or anything else interest you in terms of branching out?
Back, like, especially during quarantine, I definitely did cast a couple other games. I casted a lot of Valorant and a little bit of CSGO. I was actually, like, I was doing pretty well in Valorant. I casted a lot of, like, the smaller, or even, like, the smaller to medium, like, Tier 2, a couple Riot events. But I kind of just, like, didn't like it as much, as weird as that sounds. Yeah. The only game that I've ever, like, really enjoyed casting has been Smash. And so, like, even games that I enjoy a lot, like Valorant, that I play a lot, when I got to casting them, I just kind of was like, it doesn't feel right. It's kind of not my thing. So I kind of pulled back from casting Valorant. And I had the same thought about VGC. And I definitely would, like, love to give it a shot at some point. But one, I have no idea where to start with VGC casters because I don't know any TOs. I don't know, like, a lot about the scene outside of, like, being a spectator. And two, I'm pretty sure that I would like very quickly get upset with myself casting VGC because I would be watching it and I'd be like, that was a terrible move.
That's real. But you heard him. He's a lifer. We got him. No escape. Let's see. I think that is everything that I had. So we get to wrap it up here because we're at like, what, 25 minutes now?
Yeah, we've been going a while.
Yeah. All right. So now that we're getting to the end of this, yeah, for sure. But now that we're getting to the end of this interview here, I'm going to ask the same question of you that I asked of everyone else here at Collision. Who the fuck is winning this tournament, man? Who's taking first? I don't want the nerdy coach numbers answer. I want who does Last think is winning Collision 2023. Same challenge as Ubel, one word. I'm not taking any more words than that.
Paris Premier. That's a bold order right there.
Riddles.
Bias.
In my contract.
Do you fucking see this bias on screen?
In my contract.
I love it. I love it. I love the bias. Oh, bias. How dare they? How dare they be biased? New England? Oh my. All right. So there was that. That's the last question. All right. So you heard it. We locked it in, and there's no remorse in the answer. We think Riddles is going to win Collision 2023. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I got him the seat back. I just fucked up the whole shit. We back on screen?
I will say.
Good.
I will say there's a secret. Every tournament that Riddles has warmed up with and practiced with Icon, shout out to Chicago's Icon, the Ryu player, Riddles has won. So the two tournaments that he practiced with Icon at were Big House and Frosty Faustings. And Icon is here. They were warming up this morning. They were practicing. So this will probably come out after the tournament's done, and I might be cursing it right now, but I am just saying it's 2 for 2 right now.
This is like insider trading. This is fucked up. Oh my god. My parlays are in the mud, bro. I didn't have this knowledge. All right, so now that we're at the end, we got everything we need from you. We got your collision winner prediction, and now we're gonna hand the mic back over to you, and you get to stand on the soapbox that I have that I'm building up, and you get to promote yourself. Where can the people find you? What do you have coming up in terms of events, projects, anything like that? Just what should the people be looking out for you or from you? For you? From you?
Yeah.
Where can they find you, damn it?
You can find me on YouTube at youtube.com/L4st. I managed to snag the single handle, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, no underscores.
No underscores, nothing like that. I post a lot of like Smash news style of content, like how we used to do on PG Stats. Right. I do interviews with players, stuff like that. And then if you want to find me on Twitter, I am not joking about this in the slightest. You can go to cringe.gg in your browser, and it will take you to my Twitter.
With the liquid kids, man.
It was
They got all the magic.
it was $20 to buy the domain. I was like, this is way too fucking funny to just like leave on the table. So I bought the domain cringe.gg, and now it just redirects to my Twitter.
You want to know the worst part about that? It's probably a tax write-off. I know how you work. I get, like, it's $20, yeah, but I'm getting that back. Do not worry. Do not worry. But yeah, man, we just got through with this incredible interview with the one and only Lass. I'm Dom. This has been Caster Call. Thank you for watching. We're here at Collision 2023. We're going to get another caster up here as quickly as possible. And just make sure you stay tuned, man, because we got more coming. I promise you. If it's not out by... What date is it today? If this is not in your sub box by March 14th, my IP address is